Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Despite the fact that crypto markets are a little bit down today, they're not down that much, and still they're way up compared to where we were just a couple days ago. I mean, Bitcoin broke $40,000 just a little bit earlier today. And so what we're actually seeing is that despite the small pullback, at least at the time that I'm recording this, like the sentiment in crypto markets, it's actually improving. We're getting closer to extreme greed. And I will be showing a few specifics on that. And so that's why, like, as I look at what I believe to be as close to fact as possible, that we are not in a bear market, despite the price action in crypto markets the last couple months. Like, I feel like people that hold XRP are so fortunate. These prices are going to look ridiculously cheap in the future. Now, mind you, as I'm recording this, XRP is sitting at 62 cents. And so once this is all said and done, if XRP really does end up running to, can you imagine, $10 to $13 like the blockchain backer says, or what if people like Lub Crypto and DOI Investing and Credible Crypto, what if those analysts are correct and it's going to be more like $20 to $30? Well, however high it goes, even if it's just $10, like XRP holders, my gosh, they're going to be viewed upon as some of the most fortunate people in all of crypto. I mean, we saw what happened with XRP, even though it lagged behind the rest of the market. We saw what happened in 2017. And there will be people saying that XRP holders, of course, maybe even people in your life will tell you that you're just lucky, but there's no luck involved with this. And look, that implies that whatever you get out of this isn't deserved and it wasn't even necessarily planned, which is why I don't use that word. I would call XRP holders, if this future unfolds anywhere along those lines, I would say XRP holders are fortunate, but it took patience and planning. And a lot of research, probably, because if you've got a bunch of money, whatever that is subjectively to do, if you've got a bunch of money invested in XRP, I'm willing to bet that you didn't do it without knowing what the hell you were putting your money in. Or even if you didn't have a full understanding, maybe you started by putting in a little bit, which is what I did. I started investing in crypto before I'd done sufficient research just so I could get the experience also, and I wasn't risking anything of consequence. But then as I continued to understand it, then I really upped the ante, and I continued ultimately getting to a point where I was purchasing very regularly, dollar cost averaging into my positions. So anyway, I want to share with you that, and then also a couple stories showing that the direction we're going is increased crypto adoption, and that trend's not going to reverse. It will not go to decreased crypto adoption. So there's a story from the Daily Hodl titled, $10 billion New York asset manager files new registration fund for Bitcoin. And then I got another story about people actually you're counting on crypto, investing in crypto specifically for retirement. So I'll share with you that, as well as opinions from a few chart analysts about what to expect specifically with Bitcoin, because even though I'm most interested in XRP, and perhaps you are too, because this is an XRP centric channel, it still matters the direction that Bitcoin goes. Bitcoin leads the market, and that's fine in my book. And let's be clear, I don't have a financial background. I'm not offering financial advice, so you should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I just think it's fun as an enthusiast to make YouTube videos about this. And so the YouTube portion of it's just a hobby. And so again, XRP, like I said, 62 cents. Bitcoin's just a hair under 37,000. Market cap for the asset class, 1.47 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance at 47%. So increasing, but again, that shouldn't be surprising, and that doesn't mean that altcoins haven't gotten into a better price position compared to just a couple days ago. They by and large have. It's just that Bitcoin's an increase in price is just more notable. But at some point, you are going to see a trend back down where Bitcoin, even if it keeps climbing in price, you will see before this market cycle is over, dominance drop like a rock. Last market cycle, it got down about 35%. Some analysts think this market cycle will be below 30%, and that's because other cryptocurrencies are going to be rocketing off like crazy. And Bitcoin did get up to its 24-hour high, $40,429. So bears, where you at? To the minority of people that watch my videos that thought that we were in a bear market. Where are you at now? Because most of us didn't think that clearly. The data was indicating that much more likely we're going to be seeing upsides. And so this wasn't supposed to happen, the bear said. We're not going back above $40,000. No, we're going to crash down maybe to $19,000 or $20,000. And that just never seemed probable. I never said it was impossible, but I have consistently said that's not what is probable. And so we are going to see some, maybe in the coming weeks, a little bit more downward price action according to some analysts. I'll share with you the specifics, but even that's not the end of the world. So look at this. I've been saying, like, whatever the sentiment is in crypto markets for the moment, people, the unsophisticated, stereotypical retail investors out there, they just have this sense that whatever is happening in the moment, that's what's going to persist forever. So if price is down and you've got a lot of fear in the markets, it just feels like that's going to happen. There's no way things are going to come back, and that's why people are selling. So it's purely based on emotion, not logic, not data, not historically what's happened within the asset class. And then on the flip side, you can think, for instance, when Bitcoin was around $65,000. Oh, no. Laser eyes, diamond hands. We're going to see Bitcoin at $100,000. It's not going to go back down. Of course, we know it did go back down. It dipped a couple times below $30,000. And so it's certainly never the case that whatever the sentiment is, it's never going to stay like that forever. It's always going to teeter-totter and flip back and forth. Always. And so, I mean, unless you think the asset class is going away, and then no, then it eventually would just go away. But I don't believe that for a moment. No. Not at all. There's real utility to be had here. Humans are not just going to throw away this technology forever. That's not what's happening. Even though I don't think most cryptocurrencies that exist today will be here for the long haul, the asset class is not going away. And so, what has happened over the last 24 hours? Well, what I've got on the screen right now is the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. And yesterday, I'm pulling from memory here, I think that it was at either 22 or 23 out of 100, indicating extreme fear. And the Crypto Fear and Greed Index updates once every 24 hours at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I just said Central Standard Time because that's the time zone I'm in. I'm in the United States in the Midwest. And so I said yesterday before the most recent update that I suspect purely based on the fact that Bitcoin rallied up to about $40,000, which is about where it was yesterday when I recorded a video about price. I said anticipate that the fear and greed index is going to edge closer to greed just from that one day. And what the hell? A snapshot of one day, but look what it did to people's emotions here. And so now, it was at, again, like I said, 22 or 23 yesterday. It's now at 32. Nothing has fundamentally changed, though. And so eventually, you're going to see extreme greed in this market again. You're going to see strong, intense, heavy, euphoric, extreme greed before this is all said and done. Which is why I've been saying the people that have been paying attention and have purchased XRP while others were panic selling it, I believe those people will be rewarded by the market effectively. That's what I suspect will happen. And so here's a tweet from Credible Crypto, a chart analyst, who said, buying dips for the ride to $45,000 to $55,000 Bitcoin. And so he's one of the analysts that I regularly follow. He firmly believes that we are going to see one more leg up. Bitcoin's going to go bonkers. He actually thinks Bitcoin's going to go above $100,000. I don't know. We'll see. And he does think XRP $20 to $30 range. So again, buying at this price level, if he ends up being correct, my gosh, that's an insane reward. And probably wouldn't have to wait too long. I mean, if he's correct anyway, probably wouldn't have to wait too long, because he's thinking maybe later this year, early next year is when you'd see the parabolic rally for the altcoins, XRP included. And so, in investments now, man, if he's right, you don't have to wait long to see pop off, which for me, I'm going to be patient regardless, but I started purchasing XRP November 2017, and I had a multi-year outlook on that, and I was like, because as soon as I saw the bubble inflate and pop shortly after I entered the space, I was like, this is probably going to take a few years. And so here we are finally, been climbing back up of late. So it doesn't look like we're going to have to wait much longer from here, but regardless, my whole attitude is just be however patient you need to be until it finally goes that direction, because I think it's inevitable. That's my humble opinion. And then somebody asked Credible Crypto, think we will retest low 30,000s again before we take off? ? And Credible Crypto wrote, hoping for mid 30s, doubt we'll see low 30s. So this idea of Bitcoin going below $30,000 again, Credible Crypto does not think that's likely at all. Here's a tweet from chart analyst Michael Vanderpop. The mass is often wrong with the direction of the markets. Bitcoin almost always shows this. And this is sage wisdom. It really is, though. Most of the time, the masses are wrong. If you see extreme fear, run the other way. If you see extreme greed, run the other way. So I'm not telling you to buy or sell or hold anything specifically. I'm just saying in a general sense, that's what I personally think makes sense. I think the data bears that out. And then as far as Bitcoin goes, here's what he had to say. Bitcoin's still showing strength, although sentiment is getting euphoric again while approaching the range resistance. The trend has shifted as the market has created a higher high. I think we're still looking at a higher low at $34,500 to $36,000 in the coming weeks, unless breaking $41,000. And so it seems to me that Credible Crypto and Michael Vanderpop have roughly the same expectations, at least in the short term, for Bitcoin. And we shall see what happens. But either way, you're going to see a climb up. Like, call this range-bound consolidation still if you want to, but you know the direction that we're heading. Like you just cited, higher high. Here's a tweet from the blockchain backer. He wrote, today, the Dow Jones broke into and closed the day at a new all-time high, taking out the May 10th top. And so, like, I thought I'd highlight this because crypto markets are correlated to the stock market. They absolutely are. And so, I mean, the most obvious evidence of this, you look back to what happened in March of last year with the pandemic. The stock market tanked, crypto followed. But there's strong correlation outside of that also. And so, you know, if the stock market's going to keep climbing, and there's every indication that it is, at least for the foreseeable future, that's not going to be a factor in suppressing crypto. That's all I'm saying. Now, if something comes out of the blue, something goes bad, even just temporarily for the stock market in terms of price action, yeah. But that's where we're at. And then chart analyst DIY Investing said, get ready for the biggest run in the 4-year cycle. While retail panic sold the bottom, smart money accumulated their fear. The final move will be the biggest. Get ready. Truer words have never been spoken. Now take a look at this article from the Daily Hodl. $10 billion New York asset manager files new registration for Bitcoin fund. And there's only one aspect of this that I'm not a fan of, which I will share with you when we get to that point. But check this out. It's still positive overall. But asset manager Stone Ridge is creating a new Bitcoin-focused fund as part of its investment strategy. In a prospectus filed with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission on July 23rd, the New York-based firm, with $10 billion in assets under management, is registering for the Stone Ridge Bitcoin Strategy Fund. The fund focuses on Bitcoin futures contracts and pooled investment vehicles that invest directly or indirectly in the flagship cryptocurrency. And so again, this is the direction things are headed. Bitcoin, it increasing, and crypto in general, increasingly becoming mainstream. And so I'm thankful that we're still on the side where we're the oddballs, because if it were widely accepted by everybody on the planet that yes, crypto is here to stay, I think that most of the opportunity, by the time that sentiment comes, and it will come, a lot of the opportunity is just going to be gone. And so being here when you're going to get a bit against the grain, this is why you have an opportunity for tremendous asymmetrical gains investing in crypto compared to any other asset class. There's not much money in here. It doesn't take much flowing in to get a multiplier effect. It's, you know, these are global markets, and it's just going to keep heading in that direction. And so it is good to see this. You know, we're talking about Bitcoin futures contracts here specifically in this article. And here's the part that I'm not as much of a fan of, but this is the case with futures contracts. And this is not unique to crypto, actually, but check this out. The firm clarifies that the fund does not directly invest in Bitcoin and other crypto assets. Womp womp. So it doesn't impact the supply and demand, which kind of stinks. But, you know, this is how you're just betting on the future price of Bitcoin in this particular instance, and that's how futures contracts work even outside of the crypto asset class. You don't have to purchase the underlying asset. That's not what this is. Just, again, betting on the price. And so if you had something like an ETF, an exchange traded fund, in an instance like that, you'd be buying a fund that is representative of the actual underlying asset. And so if you're buying an ETF from an entity, then they're going to be holding the cryptocurrency, and that impacts supply and demand. So to me, that's more appealing, and I'm sure there will be a Bitcoin ETF in just a matter of time. But either way, all of this is real-world adoption here. This is all positive. The genie's out of the bottle, ain't going back in. And then there's this from the Daily Hodl. Bitcoin IRA transactions jumped 24,900% in 4 years as investors flock to crypto retirement savings. A financial services technology platform, Bitcoin IRA, is seeing massive growth in transactions as investors flock to crypto for their retirement savings, according to a CNBC report. Bitcoin IRA is a California-based firm that allows its clients to invest in crypto assets with the kind of tax breaks that come with an individual retirement account, or IRA. According to CNBC, Bitcoin IRA transactions skyrocketed 24,900% in 4 years, with the firm recording $1.5 billion in all-time transactions this month, up from just $6 million in 2017. Think about that. That's crazy. $6 million to $1.5 billion in just several years. That's intense. Again, directionally, where do you think this is going? Which is also why when I see these people that have been fearful and they're panic selling their crypto at a loss, I'm just thinking, holy freaking hell, do you actually think this is all going away? My gosh, if people just have a sufficiently long-term view, maybe you wouldn't financially wreck yourselves. Anyway, Bitcoin IRA says it now has over 100,000 users, representing a massive spike of 14,185% from its 700 account holders in 2017. Think about this. Did you see these numbers? 4 years? 700 account holders to 100,000. My gosh, this is intense here. And so it's still the case, and they cite it at the end of the article too. I don't want to read the whole thing, but they do cite here, there's a quote from somebody. It says, generally speaking, 99% of 401k plans don't offer Bitcoin services. And so, yeah, when it comes to retirement, most people aren't counting on crypto. And to be honest with you, like, I haven't counted on crypto. Like, it hasn't been a part that must occur for me to have what I'd be sufficient with in terms of retirement money. But that said, and I've been saying this part for a long time, I believe that the crypto asset class over the next decade will substantially outperform every other asset class by a wide margin. Whatever asset class is second place, it's not going to be a close second. It's going to be a very distant second. And so while I don't need crypto in order to be fine, the truth is, if this goes where I'm expecting it to, and I really do believe that crypto is going to be worth substantially more, probably in the not too distant future, because we're in the later portion of this bull cycle, and I believe the best, most interesting, fruitful fireworks are yet to come. Absolutely, this is something where, like, if this goes the direction, I think it's just like myself and a lot of you listening, we're never going to need more money from anything ever again, perhaps. And so I do believe stuff like that's possible. I mean, we've got 12 years worth of data that shows that's the case, and we still see there are tremendous multiplier effects in terms of profits being realized by real people. It's still happening for sure. We've been witnessing this over and over and over again. And so even though I don't need this for retirement, yes, if this goes the way I think and hope it will, like, we could all just instantly, by the time that, I mean, it depends. It depends on how much money you put on here, and then are you going to sell it at ideal times and this and that. But it could be the case that maybe I'm not going to worry about money ever again. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I'm already, like, I'm fine right now. I don't want to say too much about my personal financial situation, but I'm just saying, as far as what I would want, for retirement, the magical range that's in my mind. Yeah, fine without crypto, I'll be fine. But with crypto, and perhaps in less than a year, things could be looking very different. That's what I'm saying. And I think that anybody listening to this probably sees that at this point. Even if you're new to crypto, you're probably there. You probably understand that there's tremendous opportunity. And so most people, that actually doesn't happen to them, though, because they emotionally buy and sell. Maybe they don't have enough invested, or have a sufficient time horizon, selling at the wrong times, all that stuff. And so there are a lot of reasons that most people don't realize this. But there are plenty of people out there that really do end up with truly life-changing wealth as a result of this. And so it just comes down to proper planning, which is why I started the video by saying, look, XRP holders, yeah, I think we're going to be found to have been very fortunate. Some will say we're lucky, but it's not luck. It's not luck. We're not all just stumbling and fumbling and bumbling into extreme wealth. Like, that's not how this works. It takes planning, and it takes management of emotions and a whole bunch of other stuff. And genuine knowledge, because you wouldn't be in this if you didn't know what the hell you're doing, I think, anyway. So, anyway, I don't know. It's interesting topics of conversation. I mean, I'm very optimistic for the future here. And like I've said many times before, even if I'm wrong and we're about to enter a bear market, which I do not believe is the case, but even if I'm wrong, you know what I'll do? Well, I'm going to keep holding because at some point we will enter extreme greed again. Even if it's 3 or 4 years from now, I'm just going to hold. So there we go. I win either way. Even if I'm wrong about this, and I don't think I am, even if I'm wrong, I'm still going to win. It'll just take longer. That's it. So this is my outlook. Most people don't operate that way though. Prices go down, they sell. I was like, okay, well, do whatever you want. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just sharing with you how I'm treating this, and because I see this as a tremendous opportunity, and I'm so thankful because this is a once in a species opportunity. You know, the advent of the crypto asset class, that's something that can only happen once. I'll wrap up there, though. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.